Hey there, Soulshine. It's Michelle here, and I'm inviting you to wake up and live. And I haven't been here for a few days, so I wanted to come on and update you on everything that's happening. Um, I don't even have a real good excuse. On Monday, I really wasn't feeling good. Like seriously, not feeling good. Um, Tuesday, don't know, but today is the Wednesday, and I'm here today. It's barely Wednesday because it's like getting pretty late. It's getting close to, well, I have everything cleared off. I'm actually in my pajamas and I'm getting ready to head to bed. Life is interesting, don't you think? I say that I want to be a writer. I say that I love writing. In my manifesting recording that I've been listening to for the last week and a half, I talk about writing being the best part of my day. And on the few times when I actually do take a moment and write, it's incredible. It feels so amazing. It feels so good. It feels like me. I don't know how to explain that. So why is it that I don't write? Isn't that the interesting thing to find out? And that's a little bit about what I wanted to talk about. Sorry, my thumb is in a weird position. Okay. With the manifesting recording. So what I like about the manifesting recording is that once I make a recording, if something's really not working and I go back and re-record it, or something just feels like, I don't even know how to explain it. It feels like I'm forcing it and it's not my soul, but there's a way around that. But okay, so if I feel like I've written something that didn't feel like a soul desire, then I go back and change it. If it feels like it's hitting up against beliefs, then I look for the beliefs. Okay, so what's really interesting is while listening to it, I've noticed that there's two lines of thoughts that are happening. One is that I feel very aligned with the things and I feel like I'm actually moving forward towards them, or that I'm having them, that certain aspects are already becoming a reality for me. The other is I'm noticing that the things that don't feel like a reality are the things that I'm finding solutions to, triggers for. One of my concerns has been my health, and I've noticed that I've been a lot more concerned taking care of myself, taking the vitamins and the magnesium, like that I know helps me feel a little bit better. And so I've been pretty aware of that. It's been pretty cool to notice that without even trying, I'm doing a better job. Also, I've noticed that my ability to choose out of eating things that I don't even want has become easier. And when I do want something, it's easier to quit when I'm no longer interested in it. It's like I've been making changes in my brain. It's pretty cool. So and then with the writing, one of the things that's come up is I've become aware of when I stopped writing, what was going on and what was happening. Still haven't created a solution for that one yet, but awareness is like half the battle. I know what it is, which is why it makes sense that there's some things that I just have no problem sitting down and writing, and other things that I really have a hard time with writing. One of the things that's easy for me to write is the stuff. Sorry. crap. Okay, so what I did is used the writing technique that I use, which is a meditative process, to go into my little world that I have in my imagination. And I have a writing cottage, and it's incredible. And I go in there, and there's files. There's books that are waiting to be written. There's computer files. There's healing files. There's pretty much anything I want to write is in there, including my manifesting. And so with my retreat, I was amazed at the things that I wrote. And I didn't have all the questions in my mind, the fears and the concerns while doing the writing. And that's because my fears and concerns are about other people's opinions of what I write, not of and so that's not a problem with the manifesting because nobody else is listening to it. I'm listening to it myself. I didn't write it for somebody else. And that's what I've noticed, is that the things that I'm writing only for me are really easy to write. The things that I'm writing for other people to read are harder. And the things that I write that I think that certain people in my life will read are nearly impossible to write. And that is the real problem right there. But I've only found that out recently, and I think that it's because in order for my manifesting recording to become real, to manifest, in order for that to happen, I have to clear the gunk out of the way. I have to remove anything that isn't aligned with what I am creating. And so therefore, it's easier to become aware of what's in the way. Because how can you get it out of the way if you don't know what it is, right? So that's what I've been doing. It's been pretty fascinating. So let me talk to you quickly about what I wanted to talk about on Monday. Monday was for manifesting, and so I wanted to talk about manifesting when you're dealing with other people. That's one that can be quite controversial, even within the different realms of things. And so I'm going to tell you some of the thoughts that I've had, and it may really upset some people. Okay. I do totally believe that we cannot make choices for other people. I do believe that it is silly to manifest a specific person as a soulmate or to date or whatever. And my reasoning for thinking that it's silly is because I only perceive what he is showing or what I think I know about him. And my higher self, my soul, the universe, God the Father, I mean, like, all these higher beings know better than me. So if I don't put a name in there, then I'm leaving it open to him or to the higher powers that know everything. They know me completely, and they know the guys completely. And so they know their secrets. The higher powers know his secrets. The higher power knows my secrets. And higher powers know whether or not we're compatible. If I'm specifically putting out, I want a specific person in my life, then I am possibly choosing somebody that I am not aligned with. And it may be that in order to be aligned with them, I have to lower my standards or lower my vibration to match their vibration if they happen to be lower than me. And I can't tell looking at everybody whether they're higher or lower. In general, like we can tell if they're higher in certain areas, but overall, can we really tell? We can tell how they're being at that moment, but we don't know how they're being at home. So there's a lot of unknowns, and the higher powers, they know. they know. So that's why when I'm manifesting my soulmate, my sweetheart, um, I don't have his name in there. I don't even, like, I'm not even sure if I've met him, but I wouldn't put a name in there. I may have people that I want to meet, and I would put that in there. Like, I'd like to meet so and so. And if I really wanted to, pretty much I end up meeting most of the people that I want to meet anyway. Because the kind of people I want to meet, like I met Donna Eden. She's an incredible woman, and I never would have dreamed 10 years ago when I first heard of her that I would ever meet her, but I met her. And so I could put people like that I want to meet, but I don't want to control that relationship because I don't have the insight of the higher powers that can see both of us. So for what you put in your manifesting, I don't think it's a good idea to put people in like I want to be in a relationship with so and so because there's just too many variables. So you put what kind of qualities you want in that relationship, or like I want a soulmate, and so what kind of things do I want in my soulmate relationship? However, there are some relationships that I actually put things in, and this is where it gets pretty controversial. So I have 6 children, a daughter-in-law, and a grandbaby, and my mom. I have my brother, his wife, and my nephew. These are all important people in my life. And here's why I can put their names in and talk about what our relationship is like. So for my daughter, for example, we are good friends, but I feel like it could probably use some improvement. And so I put in some of the things that I want to experience with her. The way of being that I want to experience. I want her to confide in me, and I want her to, I want our friendship to grow stronger. And I have some other relationships that I want certain things from as well. And so I've thought about it, and I'm like, because for the longest time, I was told you can't do that. You can't put people's name in. I can't put my mom's name in and say that we're getting along. I can't put that my son is cooperating with me. Things like that. That's what people say because of their agency. Okay, I get that. I get that I cannot change somebody else, but here's what I can change. I can change my perception of people. So if I perceive that my child is confiding in me, if I believe that, then if their energy is aligned with that, then that's the experience we're going to have. And I'm going to attract that experience. I know from experience that I can change how I believe about people, and the way they treat me changes. And those people didn't necessarily change. They just changed how they show up for me. So they may still treat somebody else one way, but they changed how they show up for me. Because that's what can happen is when we change our own beliefs, people show up for us differently, or they leave our lives. That's just kind of the way it is. Because we attract what we are in line with. And so when it comes to relationships that I know that I want to have, specific people, my children and my granddaughter and my mom and my brother and his family, those are such important relationships for me that I want to change my experience of them. So I want to change my beliefs and believe that I can completely trust them, that I can completely rely on them, that we get along, and that we're close. I can change those beliefs within me, and therefore it changes the experience. So I actually have things in my recording that are very specific that people say you can't do because you can't change them. No, I cannot change them. And the one thing that I have to remember is that I can change how I perceive people, but they still are going to show up the way they're going to show up. And so if they're not willing to change, there's nothing I can do about that. I just have to remember that I'm creating what I want to have happen. And if it doesn't happen, it's okay. I get to be okay with that. So that's what I wanted to talk about on Monday. And I could have totally done it for yesterday too, because that was kind of a mindset thing. Anyway, I'm not sure if I have something else. So hello to whoever is watching live. I'm glad you're here live. And I wish I could promise that I'd be here consistently. I have it's kind of crazy how life is, and I'm still working on some of the areas of my life. It's kind of frustrating. Sometimes I feel like a fraud when I'm in a place like this, when I'm in a when I'm on a video like this. So sometimes I feel like a fraud. And the reason why is because I don't want to get on here and pretend that everything's great when it's not. I'm talking about changing your mindset. I'm talking about manifesting things. I'm really good in some areas of my life. I feel like I'm good enough in some areas of my life to be able to tell you what I've learned. But I haven't perfected. I'm not perfect. I'm completely not perfect. I'm just as human as everybody. And until I totally figure out what's going on with my health, I don't know if I'm going to be here every day. One of the consequences, I kind of, without going to a doctor, which I probably really need to do, I narrowed it down to basically one of two illnesses, and this is over years and years and years of symptoms. And both of those illnesses, one of the symptoms, the physical symptoms, is depression and anxiety. And when I have flare-ups of whatever's going on with me physically, when I'm feeling super exhausted, and when I'm feeling like just walking up the stairs is putting me out for a half hour, and when getting out of bed just literally hurts and it is exhausting. And it takes so long for my body to warm up, if you will. It's hard to be willing to commit. And when those kind of things flare up, that's when depression sets in more. And I think part of the depression comes in, and maybe I'm just figuring this out right now, is kind of a frustration and an anger with myself because I know better. Or at least that's kind of the attitude, or I should know better. Like, the idea that because I have all these tools, I should be able to find all these answers. And when I don't, I get upset and angry. And when I allow it to let myself down. I don't know. I have this whole warped little twisted thing going on. And don't we all? Don't we all get these weird little twisted ideas that when you start to talk about them, you realize how ridiculous they are? They don't even make sense, but that's how the brain is wired. Very rarely does the brain get wired in a way that makes sense, and emotions are not logical. So I'm not going to commit to being here tomorrow, but I'm definitely going to do my best because I want to be here. I do. I want to be here. Okay, so thank you for watching. Remember that when you're manifesting, there's a lot of possibilities. You may not want the person that you think you want, or if you feel like things are changing in your desires, that's okay too. You don't have to keep wanting the same things. And maybe you've evolved to a point where what you were manifesting no longer makes sense, and so you can upgrade it or delete it and choose something else. And it's okay to manifest certain relationships to be differently, because you're changing yourself, you're not changing them. You're changing your perception of them. So those are just some rambling thoughts. I hope you're having a wonderful night, morning, day, whatever time of day it is that you watch this. Remember to let your soul shine big, bright, light, and beautiful. Hey, look, it's a shadow hand thingy. Um, little buddy foo foo, I don't know. Yes. Okay, so yeah, I'm having way too much fun, right? Look, I can do I love you. Hand sign for I love you, or airplane. Um, I'll see you guys later. Love you guys. Bye.